Ladies and gentlemen, it is 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Rise for our pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, it looks like all our members are present. I'd like to note, obviously, as Council President, I'll be running the meeting tonight as Mayor McNeil is not here. I ask that you be patient with me because I'm sure there will be mistakes. So, Tiff, I'm going to be dependent on you. I'll be looking at you a lot. Under old business, we need to approve the minutes from the October 20th, 2022 meeting. Everybody had an opportunity to review those. And I need a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of October 20, 2022 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Been a motion and a second. Any discussion? Not, call the roll, please.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Major?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Bueller?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Studnicka?
Yes.
Mr. Trinkle?
Yeah.
All right, audience participation. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the council on an item not on the agenda? If not, we'll move on to presentations, and we are going to recognize several council members who have served on the council anywhere from 8 to 25 years. So, Tim, want me down front?
Yeah. Due to COVID, we weren't able to pass out the certificates the last few years, but we do have certificates for folks to honor their recognition to the city. And then once all the certificates are handed out, I believe Connie wanted to get a picture. So, Councilman Garvey, in honor of 8 years of service to the city of Lansing. As of 2021, yep, come on down. Price is right. Thank you.
We get a photo of them all together after you
Yep,
get them out.
yes. Yep, yes, when we're all done. Councilman Kirby, in honor of 10 years in 2021. Congratulations.
Nice word set.
Councilman Bueller, in honor of 10 years in 2021. Councilman Dave Trinkle, in honor of 20 years in 2020. And Councilman Studnicka, in honor of 25 years in 2022.
Did we have a building in 25 years ago?
I believe Ken was going to try to take a picture for us, and Connie was going to try to take a picture for the paper.
All right, guys, look this way. Take a couple. Smile. One more.
Still smiling.
Councilman Stednica is now going to read our Veterans Day proclamation.
This nation is kept strong and free by loyal citizens who preserve our precious freedom heritage through their positive patriotic declarations and actions. And all loyal citizens should make it their duty to inspire complete patriotism among all of our people. We urgently need a vigorous display of true red, white, and blue Americanism, thus convincing friends and foes alike that our nation is firmly united for self-preservation. Anthony McNeil, Mayor of the City of Lansing, State of Kansas, does hereby urge each individual, school, church, organization, business establishment, and household within the City of Lansing to publicly reaffirm their strong allegiance to our flag, country, and the men and women in uniform through active participation in patriotic programs sponsored by the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and proclaim November 11th, 2022 as Veterans Day.
Connie, did you want to get a picture?
No.
Okay. All right, thank you, Don. Under new business, we need the reappointment of trade boards of appeals members. City code requires that an appeal board be available for the appeals process. Each board consists of 5 members that serve 3-year terms for the following trades: plumbing, Joey Denny, Dan McCann, and Mike McCann. Mechanical, Joey Denny, Michael Brightwell, Dennis Wacker, Theodore Bryant, and Brett Rosenberg. Electrical, Brian Crockett, Sean Stevens, Lance Lavin, David Anaya, and Randy Schwinn. Finally, building, Larry Hahn and Sean D'Souza. I need a motion to approve the above named terms ending November 30th, 2025.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Not, call the roll, please.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Major?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Bueller?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Trinkle?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda, under new business, is Bernard Park batting cage change order. At the October 26th City Council meeting, a discussion was held about the possibility of adding a batting cage to the new baseball and softball complex. Batting cage would be a change order from the original plan. The cost to install the batting cage would be $21,149.94 without power. If the city were to provide a power source near the batting cage, the total would be $29,796.81. So, I need a motion to approve the change order to add a batting cage without power for a total not to exceed $21,149.94, or with the power for a total not to exceed $29,796.81.
Make a
I
motion
move
to-
we approve the batting change with power for $29,796.81.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the batting cage with power for $29,796.81. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Brungar, where are they tapping into power? Are we putting a generator up there? What's going on?
They'll tap into power. I think it'll actually begin from the building. If I'm start at the forgive me. come from the building, if I'm not mistaken, and they'll use some conduits that are already in the ground.
Okay.
So it'll come to a pedestal that looks kind of like this, that'll
All right.
have outlets.
So that's power that they're already running in for the building
Well, yeah, the power's already there.
and the lights and everything?
They're going to have to trench to the cage and portions of the cage, and then use some existing conduit. That's where the money comes from for the seating and stuff that's going to be disturbed.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
On the page I'm looking at, the Sands construction page, says 28,700.
I put in the agenda memo not to exceed the 29,000 because there's a red line in there that shows the cost with sod, and because we're so late in the season, most likely we're going to have to put sod instead of seed. There's a possibility it could be less if they could go ahead and seed it versus sod it, but I was going for the worst case scenario.
Anybody else? Not call the roll, please.
Mr. Kirby?
Thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Major?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Bueller?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungart?
Yes.
Mr. Studnicka?
Yes.
Mr. Trinkle?
Yes.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it. I think we made a good decision. Yes. We do this, you're right. Okay, reports, department heads. Ready? City attorney,
Nothing to report.
city engineer,
It's not here.
city administrator.
I have nothing.
Serious?
Oh.
Wow. Okay, council members. Start with Gene.
I want to thank all these people who volunteered to serve on these boards. And if you want the pool, vote for it. If you don't want the pool, vote no. Vote. That's all I have. Thank you.
Marcus.
Yes, sir. Just a second, Gene, there. Thank you for the volunteers on trade boards, and thanks, Jason, for staying on. We're going to have an incredible park when this is done. There's a lot of work gone into it, and I can't thank you and Tim and the city staff enough for everything you're doing to make that park right. It's going to be really nice. Thank you very much. And like Gene said, please go vote. That's all we got.
Jesse.
Ditto what they said. Thank you to all the volunteers. I know a lot of these guys on these boards, and we appreciate everything that they do for the city. Ditto on voting. Get out there and vote. Either way, just exercise your right. That's the main thing, is you have a right to vote if you're registered, and get out there and make it count. So that's the main thing. I actually had a conversation with Tim, it was yesterday, day before, about the location of the pool and some questions about foliage, trees being taken down, things like that. And, a lot of that area isn't a floodplain. So a lot of the foliage between where the pool may or may not go and the subdivision to the north of it, there will be a substantial amount of foliage still there after construction is done, if it passes. So just to be clear, that whole area is not going to be cleaned.
Yes.
So, but I just wanted to clear that up, just in case anybody asks, and they can see it on the video, that we're going to make sure and take care of that area. I think it'll be really nice if it does pass, but again, vote whatever your conscience tells you to vote. That's all I've got.
Rick.
Again, thank you to everybody on the Trade Boards of Appeals, because I say it before and I'll say it again, we can't operate the city without the volunteers that we have, and we really do appreciate the time and effort that you put into helping us. Congratulations to all of the council members that got awards for time served, and thank you for your time and service. And on this day in 1913, the United States government implemented the federal income tax. That's all I have.
Boo!
Yeah.
I do want to echo about the volunteers. They really do make a difference. We appreciate each and every one of you. And Tim, I did have one question to you. Has the school board responded on dates for lap swimming? They have not. Okay. But vote, it's your right. And whichever way you want to vote is your own conscience, but I just ask you to vote. That's it.
Ditto on what everybody said regarding voting. It it's your right to vote, but I also believe it's your duty. And enough said with that. Tom?
It's all been said already. I don't have anything to, thank you, Mayor.
I got about 10, 12 things here I'd like to talk about. Is that okay?
Sure.
No.
I don't think
I would thank all the gentlemen and ladies. I don't see any ladies on the list that are on the trade board. Are they any of them new, or are they staying with us?
This
year
group.
after year, or years after years?
I think most everybody on this group is
This group is.
a repeat. I know there's a couple of openings in, is it the building and plumbing sections? So if you guys know of anybody else, feel free to have them reach out to us. But most of the people on here are repeats.
Okay, and vote. The vote is the main thing, whether you're for the pool, not for the pool. Don't make that the deciding factor. There's other things to be voted on too. But get out there and do your thing. And we had another walk away, and I mentioned, did we ever come up with anything on way of warning the residents? I was asked by a resident if, back years ago, they blowed it used to be a whistle. I don't think they have a whistle anymore.
Yeah.
Have we come up with any kind of ideas to let some people know? And
We spoke to the state to see if there was some type of Amber Alert system or something like that. They haven't.
I was asked again if where it went. They said they knew that we had talked about it, and I didn't know if there was something in the looked at or.
I don't know what they're going to do with that, but we ran that idea by local legislators. The other thing, if it is some type of Amber Alert system, people would need to sign up for it. Is another thing, and I'm not sure how that works if people only have landlines. I think people would need cell phones in order for that to work. But so that's one idea that's been bandied about.
Have you talked to, like I mentioned, maybe talk to the civil defense director if there's a different way they could blow the siren? It involves Leavenworth County. It's not just Lansing.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether they got an air raid. One they blow for air raid. They got one for tornado. I know that then we're getting probably a lot of people get confused, but I just wondered if that was.
So I haven't spoken to the county about that. I know that the chief and I were brainstorming about that because, one of the things we actually get comments about during tornado season is people who are indoors sometimes can't hear the sirens because I guess they're not designed to be heard indoors if you've got your TV on and everything like that. So then that got us thinking, I guess I'm not sure how useful it would be if the only time people hear it is when they're outdoors.
It's like your Amber Alert. I think probably 90% of the people have phones, and it would get out to more people on an Amber Alert if you can't do anything with the siren.
Well, again, they'd need to sign up for it though, but yeah.
That's all I have, and then I make a motion to adjourn, and Mr. Brumgard, you've done a fine job this evening.
Second.
we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Discussion? Not, call a roll, please.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Major?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey? Mr. Bueller?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Studnicka?
Yes.
Mr. Trinkle?
I really don't want to, but yeah.
Meeting is adjourned.